Meter is expressed with two numbers. The top number indicates how many beats are in a measure, and the bottom number indicates what kind of note is equal to 1 beat. Top number here means there's 4 beats in a measure, and the bottom number indicates that the quarter note is the one that equals a beat in this time signature. You're being asked to put in the remaining notes of this measure utilizing the basic beat of each measure. So you obviously, this is 4/4, so you're going to use the basic beat, which is basic note, which is 4, which is a quarter note, and you need 4 of them in the measure. So go ahead and do that. Pause the video for a second. Notice the stems. We're doing a variety of note placement. So when the notes are placed above the middle line, the stems go down, and when the notes are placed below the middle line, the stems go up. Also notice that, and on the middle line, by the way, you can choose which way. Notice also that when the stems go down, it goes from the left side of the note, and when the stems go up, it goes from the right side of the note. Okay, moving on to the next example. We have 4/8, upper number, 4 beats in a measure. Lower number 8 indicates that, that's right, 8th note is equal to 1 beat. So this 8th note in this time signature is actually equal to a full beat. So go ahead and pause the video, finish filling in this measure, and then restart to get your answer. And it's duple time, so we beamed them in groups of 2. Here we go to 6/8. This is a compound time signature. We have 6 beats in a measure. 8th note is equal to 1 beat. So go ahead and pause the video and finish this measure, then restart to get the answer. Notice the grouping of notes in 6/8. 6/8 is a compound time signature where we have a feeling of 6, also superimposed over a feeling of 2. There's 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So because there's this larger subdivision of 2 groups of 3, we beam them together in groups of 3. So when this upper number is divisible by 3, you will get a compound time signature and you'll get groups of 3. Same is true of 9/8. You'd have 3 groups of 3. 12/8, you'd have 4 groups of 3. Moving on to example 2. Fill each bar with rests. Use the note value that expresses the basic beat of each measure. So now you need to know how to do rests. So you need to know what a quarter note rest looks like. You should know that by now from other homework. And that's what it looks like. So go ahead and fill up the appropriate rests for each of these measures. Quarter note rests here, quarter note rests here, 8th note rests here, 8th note rests here. Video, and then restart to check your answers. Okay, we're back, so you can check your answers here. These are your rests, quarter note rests, 8th note rests, correct number. Make sure you did it correctly. Exercise number 3, fill each bar with subdivided beats. This means a note value that is less a division of the basic beat value. And for the purposes of this exercise, we'll do something that is half the value, or twice as fast. So quarter notes, we will use 8th notes, and for 8th notes, we'll use 16th notes. In this grouping, we'll be able to use 8 8th notes. Here we'll be able to use groups of 12. We'll end up with 12 8th notes. Here we'll use 16th notes, and you can see if you can figure out how many 16th notes that will equal. And here we'll use 16th notes, but we still have those groups of 3. So we have the groups of 3 8th notes. So that means we're going to have groups of 6 16th notes here. Okay, pause the video and then check your answers. Okay, we're back. Here's our answers. You can group 4 8th notes at a time in 4/4, so make sure you beam together 4 8th notes. There's the invisible bar line. In 6/4, it's safest at this stage to just do groups, just one beat beaming right now. You may wonder, how do you decide which way to do a beam when one note is above the middle line and one note is below? And the answer is that whichever one is furthest from the middle line is the one that gets precedence. So this note is above the middle line. Normally notes that are above the middle line would get a stem going down. So it's further away than this note is from the middle line. So this one gets precedence. Moving on to our 16th note examples. Here's our group, our duple time, our time based on 2 or 4. So we can have 16th notes in groups of 4. And here's our triple time, our compound time. So we have 16th notes based on groups of 6. And we can still see our division between the end of beat 3 and the beginning of beat 4 and 6/8. Okay, moving on to the last example. We have number 4, fill in each bar with subdivided rests. So just in the same way we did notes here of subdivisions, now you're going to do the same thing, but you're going to use nothing but subdivided rests. It's not necessarily the way you would write a real piece of music. It's just for you to get the idea of all the rests that potential rests that could exist in a measure. So you're going to write in, for 4/4, you're going to write in 8 eighth note rests down here. Would you actually do that if you were writing music? No, you would write a whole rest if you were filling in the measure. So if you were just writing a real piece of music and you wanted it to be 4 beats of silence, you would write this. But just so you get practice calligraphy-wise and understand that this actually represents not only 4 beats, but also 8 eighth note rests, that's what you're going to be asked to write here. Here you're going to write 12 eighth note rests. Here you're going to write the equivalent number of 16th note rests, and here you're going to write the equivalent number of 16th note rests here. Pause the video and then check your answers. And we're back. Here's the answers for number 4. There's the entire answer sheet. Okay. See you next time.